everybody, welcome to another episode, one of which you haven't seen in a minute.
Yes.
And I know you all are wondering, like, where'd these two go? What happened?
Sorry.
So this video is to explain partly why we haven't been around, and it has to do with our marriage. No, we're not divorcing or anything like that, so calm down. But we are here to talk to you about something that's extremely important. As my wife has stated throughout this whole throughout this whole series of videos that we've been doing, and even before I even started, being a part of this channel, she's on something called the TTC journey, meaning the trying to conceive, right? And a part of conceiving is, as everyone knows, it's about, making sure you're one with each other, making sure that you have, you're on one accord. And most importantly, when it comes to trying to conceive, it's trying to make sure you have sex. This is weird to talk about, right? Because usually we don't, we talk about issues on, our vlog, but we don't talk about
too personal stuff.
Personal, like what we're currently going through or was going through. And of course, the biggest thing that we had to do is first, I think, apologize. Because especially on the TTC journey, what you have to realize is, especially when you're people like us who put your business out there, I want to apologize because we were giving the impression that we were doing something correctly when we weren't. And essentially, it comes down to it's like lying, right? If you're trying to encourage somebody or mentor somebody in a journey or on their way somewhere, you are trying to present to them solutions and things that you think will help. But there was one part of that we never actually really talked about, and that's sex. It's so super duper important to make sure that you continue to have sex with your partner during that transition. TTC is not for people who have issues fertility-wise. It's for anybody who is trying to conceive. Whether you're in your young 20s and you just got married and you guys are ready to start a family, or you're in your 40s and you and your partner decide we should go ahead and try this. It doesn't matter what age group, but you cannot leave that part of the process out. Now, I know what you're saying. What if he has low sperm count? What if he has no sperm at all? What if she has PCOS or she is having issues? That doesn't matter. I'll tell you why. Unless the person you're talking to has some serious issues, I'm talking like you can't do anything without them bleeding or something is really dangerously wrong with them, then sex is still a huge part. And I say that because people will put surgery in the way. They'll put IUIs in the way. They'll put IVF in the way of them making love and being a part of each other's life in that way. And so I'll let my wife further expound on that. She can go ahead and give you guys a little bit more.
Yes, so basically when it comes to sex, a lot of the time when you're trying to conceive, you can kind of get caught up in the, tracking the ovulation periods and wanting to make sure that you're having sex around that time. And then you kind of forget to have sex during the other times of the month, or it's not as important to you. And the most important thing here is that sex is good for trying to conceive, even if you do have fertility issues, because you never know. It only takes one, literally. Yeah. But also because sex is more than just conception. Sex was something that God made for each and every one of us to enjoy with our spouses and connect and spend that time with our spouses. So, even if, say you are well past your childbearing years, say you're older and you technically societally can't have kids, you're still going to engage in sex with your partner because that's what brings you together. It's a connection. It's not about, of course it's about reproducing, but it's more about connecting with your partner in a way. And so what happened is that ever since we got married, it's kind of been a bit of an issue with us simply because our drives don't necessarily link up.
They don't link up at all.
So, and that's something that we might have to talk with you all about in another video. If y'all want to hear about it, then, comment below and let us know. But we don't want to keep you all for too long. But anyway, so it didn't really add up. And so what happened is that, it kind of, everything just kind of, what do I want to say?
Came to a head.
Came to a head, yeah. And so we had to talk with, somebody about it. And the most important thing, and one of the reasons that we're making this video, is because we want to explain to you all, you know, what happened with us and, you know, help you all out. But also because what happened is that we were talking to somebody and they said something that really just kind of shook me. And it was one of those things that kind of just had me like, dang, like, you just said that to me for real? Like, so basically what they were saying was that if we weren't having sex every single day, then we weren't trying to get pregnant. And to me, it was like, so you're saying that over the past, you know, 2.5 years that we've been tracking cycles, having sex on ovulation days, having sex off of ovulation days, taking vitamins, taking all these supplements, going to all these doctor's appointments, you're saying that none of that matters because we weren't having sex every single day. And that was kind of, to me, just like, you just discounted like 2.5 years of my life. Like, what the devil? And I know me personally, I was just feeling really unmotivated to make any type of video because it basically just made me feel really bad about our TTC vlog, because I was like, dang, like, do our subscribers feel that way? Do other people feel that way? You know, I don't necessarily agree, but is that the image that we're portraying? And so I really had to kind of take a minute to think and just kind of slow down and stop. And I think it was the same for both of us, because as we were working on, you know, as we were working on the whole sex thing within our marriage, we kind of had to take a break from everything. And, you know, I stopped really posting on social media, stopped all this stuff, because we were just trying to, you know, find that reconnection with each other. But before we could really get back into the daily grind of everything, this had to be addressed. The whole, if you don't have sex every single day, then you're not trying to get pregnant. Me personally, I don't agree with that, because there have been so many things that we've been doing to try to get pregnant. We've been having sex on, you know, ovulation days and everything. We weren't having sex every day. And I'm not going to be ashamed about that, because I connect with my husband when we're having sex. The only problem that we were having was not necessarily so that we weren't having sex every day, but it was that it wasn't enough to satisfy both of our needs. So I feel like once both of your needs are met, and, you know, you're doing what you need to do, having sex on the ovulation days and everything, then I feel like you're set. But, you know, I know some people may feel otherwise. They may feel like, well, are you really trying if you're not doing it every single day, 10 times a day, all this stuff? But the fact of the matter is that even doctors will tell you you're not actually supposed to have sex every day, even during the ovulation time. She said that to us when we went to the doctor, right? She was like, do it every other day. So that itself is kind of like...
But now let me go ahead and interject. So basically, our situation is different. The reason why this particular person said that was because of my situation, in that I have low sperm motility. If you don't know what that means, it basically just means my sperm don't move forward like they're supposed to. I have a very low percentage of the amount of sperm that do so. So in this particular conversation, it came up because the person, it was kind of a counselor situation where they were kind of trying to counsel us and talking to us. But basically they were saying, you know, it's a numbers game. The numbers meaning that if his sperm count is low and there is a knowledge that that is the case, then wouldn't it be a good idea to have sex every single... Now this is how I'm sure they wanted to say it. Shouldn't you try to have sex every single day? Because everyone on this, I'm sure all of you know, that sperm lives for about 3 to 7 days, depending on the situation. And of course, the frequency of sex wasn't our problem necessarily. It was the heart behind the sex we were having. So, to get into it quite frankly, it was a moment where I felt as though my wife was not interested in having sex in that moment. She, of course, felt like she was, but especially as a man, there's a moment where you want to know, like, this is happening, this is a yes, it's going somewhere, and it gets there. And that excitement is extremely important, especially for someone with low sperm count, because it's scientifically proven that when you're excited and you get to that certain excitement, your sperm react to that positively. And so when you're excited when you have sex, those things are going to go. But if you're not excited when you have sex and there's nothing really in it, there's nothing really behind it, there's no heart in it, nothing's really going to happen. And so that was the disconnect that we were having. So that statement that person made, you know, however either of us feel about it, that wasn't the true point. The true point was the heart behind it. So the lesson that I wanted to give you all, first of all, we wanted to apologize because we were giving you this impression that we were doing everything right, that every time we had sex it was exciting and we wanted it, and there was something there that wasn't true. And that if you don't do it every day, in some way you're failing or it's not going the right direction. And like I said before, our opinions on that can be different. But once again, it wasn't the frequency, it was the heart. And so basically this video today is to apologize, okay? The apology is that we are over here trying to preach the word of TTC while not taking every precaution or taking every step we can take to make sure that we achieve the goal of TTC, trying to conceive. Meaning that the heart wasn't in it when we were having sex, we were just doing it. It wasn't always that we were trying to think of each other, but think of ourselves, in that when we did have sex, it was like we're only doing it for them, but it wasn't for us. So this video today is to urge you, if you're in that journey, if you're going through it and it's hard and it's just seeming like it doesn't matter how much you do it, it's just not happening. Remember, sex is not necessarily only about conceiving, but it's about enjoying your partner's body. That's just it. Sex is such a huge part of a relationship. And quite frankly, if you feel like that's not the case, you should reconsider your relationship, because that is just the case. As a human, that is the case. If you can't accept that, or it doesn't feel good to you to think about in that way, then you probably should reconsider your marriage or your relationship, whatever you got going on, because sex is so super important. And that is just what I wanted to make this video about today. What we had talked about is apologizing. Take those steps. Do those things. Take the vitamins. Keep doing it, because once again, it takes one. And that one sperm, that one day you were both into it, you were both feeling it, it changes the biology of the sperm that the man is giving off and of the body of the woman that's receiving it. All of that has to be fertile ground. It's like planting a seed. You're not going to plant a seed in a dry ground. You know what I'm talking about. Okay? You're not going to plant a seed in a ground that's rocky, or in a ground that doesn't have enough water, or it's not fertile. You plant the seed in a fertile ground. And a man can tell, a woman can tell when it's just not fertile, right? It's just something's not there. There's no connection. So just make sure, it's hard, I know, but make sure that you just keep striving to keep your partner satisfied, in that you keep trying to give them what they're needing and making sure that cultivation of the relationship is there. And that's what's important, that's what's most important. You have anything to say?
Yeah, I agree. Keep on. Try to enjoy sex. And I know that that's kind of difficult, not difficult per se when you're trying to conceive, but I know that sometimes you can kind of misplace the real meaning of sex when you're trying to conceive, or you can kind of forget what the real purpose of sex is, and it's to connect with your partner. It's not just to make a baby, because once you start getting in that mindset of we're only doing this to make a baby, then you stop enjoying the sex, you stop having it as frequently, because you're thinking, oh, I only need to have sex during the fertile days, right, and all this stuff. So our point is to enjoy sex.
And remember too, real quick, it's different for us because we had already had a baby. I had already gotten her pregnant. So regardless of my sperm issues, I already got her pregnant before.
And we weren't having sex every day then.
And we weren't having sex every day. So it wasn't the frequency. But I tell you what, in those moments, in those days when we were having sex, I remember it was L-I-T, capital, lit. I remember that. Because it was the heart, It was the emotion behind what we were doing. And I got her pregnant. It happened. It was one. It took one. And I believe that even back then I had the issues. So what does that say? That says that even though you're going through it, maybe this isn't the only solution, but try it. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to say that. Because it's true. Some people out there are confused. So I wanted to give them
But like I said, if you all want, we can talk more about that topic later on, about, just sex and marriage in general, because it's such a tricky conversation and such a tricky topic. So if you want to have any more information about that from us, comment below. If you have any questions, leave them below. We'll try our best to answer them. When it comes to us personally, don't worry about us. We've been working on us for these past few weeks.
We've been working on us.
So, we're fine. We're getting back into the throes of all our videos. In fact, we actually have some videos already made and ready to post for you all. So these next couple weeks are going to be awesome. So make sure that you have hit that subscribe button and make sure that you've hit that bell button so that you can receive notifications when those videos post. TTC wise, me personally, I've already talked to him about it. I'm probably not going to be wanting to make any posts about that for a minute because I need to kind of get past that whole thing. Because when I tell you what it shook me. It shook me. And I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even going to front and try to act like, I ain't feel nothing. But that shook me because it was just like he said, what they were trying to say one thing, but the way that they said it, the way that it came out, it could have been off to me.
It could have been different.
It was just, and once I heard it that way, I couldn't receive what they were really saying. So,
but see, and it's funny because when I explained it to her, we were at dinner after the conversation. And when I sat there and explained it to her and like used math and like if then she was like, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense.
But that's not what they said. So,
and that's important for people out there when you talk.
Watch how you say things.
Watch how you say it.
Yeah.
There might be good heart behind it.
But it's what you say it. But anyway, so I personally need to kind of get past that. So we're probably not going to be doing any TTC vlogs in a while, for a while. But we're definitely going to be doing some more coupley type videos, challenges, vlogs, stuff like that. Just probably not TTC for a minute.
Right.
And just also in our personal lives, we're not really too focused on that right now anyway because
guys, like after a while,
we're working on us.
We're working on ourselves. We got money coming through. We got video, and after a while too with the TTC thing, it's not that you gave up on it. No. But your focus shifts, and once your focus shifts, it's like your sex not only gets better, but your life gets better because you get that weight off of you. TTC is important. Try to conceive is extremely important because if that's what you want, that's what you want. But don't let it be your main life focus. That's it.
But anyway, y'all, like I said, we don't want to keep you all day. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for sticking by. So many of you have held on through this gap. It's been like 2 weeks. And so many of you have come and subscribed. To the new subscribers, thank you so much for joining us. And I hope that you'll continue to watch our videos. Again, y'all just keep on the lookout for all the new videos that we have coming for you all. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Y'all have an absolutely blessed and wonderful day. Just remember, God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. Lord willing, we will see y'all next time.